I'm sitting here today on a very hot summer's day, but I'd like to draw our attention back a few months, if I may, to the month of April, because I want to talk to you about the 1st of April, which is traditionally known as April Fool's Day. And I'm going to look at why April the 1st was chosen as Fool's Day and what Fool's Day means. I personally always look forward to the 1st of April. I like to go through the newspapers and watch the media and spot the deliberate mistakes. And in particular, over the years, I think one of the best ones for making up jokes on the 1st of April is the BBC. Not the BBC World Service, because senses of humour are not very international. But if you go to a BBC channel, a local BBC channel, for example, BBC London, and watch their morning TV news, you will definitely see a joke included in the story. Sometimes they're funny, sometimes they're just silly. Some classics, however, are known. There was a great one in the 1950s when BBC reported that all over Italy there was a crisis because a late spring frost was threatening the spaghetti crop. And there was footage of Italian peasants climbing the spaghetti trees, cutting the spaghetti to save it from the frost. Another one a few years ago was, in order to improve public transport in London, the mayor had ordered some second-hand submarines from the Ukrainian Navy. And the submarines would go under the water in the Thames and take people up and down the river. Some of them are easy to spot, but some of them are very intelligent. But why? Why do we feel the need to make jokes on the 1st of April? Where does it come from? Well, there are several theories, and if you Google it, you'll get countless ideas of where it came from. But I'd just like to look at two. First of all, think about it, the time of the year. The 1st of April is the end of the winter, the beginning of spring. It's when the world springs back into life after a dark, dreadful winter. It's when we start to feel a sense of hope yet again. So traditionally, the 1st of April was the first day of the year. However, this all changed in 1582, when the Pope Gregory XIII, ordered that a new calendar be used. It's what we have now. We call it the Gregorian calendar. The Pope ordered that henceforth, New Year would start on the 1st of January, totally arbitrary date, instead of the obvious 1st of April, which should be the first day of the year. So the news came forth from the Pope's court, and it went to the various kings all over Europe. And the closer you were to power, the closer you were to the Pope, the closer you were to the king, the sooner you would get the news. And as the years went by, more and more people began to celebrate New Year on the 1st of January, rather than the 1st of April. Only the ignorant, the illiterate, and those who lived in remote places didn't get the news. So it was quite popular amongst sophisticated circles to mock the ignorant people who still celebrated New Year on the 1st of April. So if you saw somebody celebrating on the 1st of April, you knew they were fools. It was their day. The 1st of April became Fool's Day. That's one theory. A second theory of where April Fool's Day came from takes us to the Emperor Constantine. Now, as you may know, in the royal courts of the time, the only person who could mock the king or the emperor was the official court jester. And one day, the king's jester said, "I could run the kingdom or the empire much better than you could." So, as a joke, the emperor decided to allow his jester to be emperor for one day. And the one piece of legislation that the jester passed on his day was to order that henceforth the anniversary of this event, which happened to be the 1st of April, would be known as Fool's Day. And there should be an annual day of absurdity, so that the people of low status could officially mock those of high status, to remind them that they too are just human and fallible. So there you have two stories, both perfectly plausible. But of course, since we're talking about the 1st of April, one of them is true, and one of them is a complete fabrication made up by myself. See if you can spot the deliberate mistake. Thank you.